put out this quick video as a follow-up to the longer video I made about connecting a ESPixelStick to a YPS Starlight 350 moving heads. And if you've watched either the TLDR version of that video or the much longer version of the video, you see that I had some issues with the wiring between the moving head and the pixel stick because of some weirdness in the DMX cables. But since then, I found a better DMX cable to use between the moving heads and the pixel stick that simplifies the whole thing. So just as a recap, what you get with a moving head is you'll get 4 cables actually. You'll get a fat weatherproof on one end power cable, and then you'll get a DMX cable that's weatherproof on one end and it's standard DMX on the other end. This one's been disassembled a little bit, but it would look like this. It'll look like this on the other end. So the moving heads, each one of them will come with these 2 cables, and then they'll come with a power cable that's weatherproof on both ends and a DMX cable that's weatherproof on both ends. The ones that are weatherproof on both ends are used to daisy chain the moving heads together. So between the first and the second, third, fourth, you'll use those. You really can't get that part wrong. But the first unit, we're going to hook to the power and a wall outlet, and then we're going to use this cable, the DMX cable that came with it, that's weatherproof on one end and indoor on the other. We're going to use it to connect to our pixel stick. So what I did in my videos is I had purchased this cable, which was a 15-foot long, just standard XLR DMX style cable, and I had a lot of weirdness when I was connecting it to the end of this, the DMX that came with the moving head. When I was connecting the two, I could not get signal to work properly. And what I ended up, if you watch that whole video, what you'll find is, what I found is that I had to cut the ground on both ends. I had to do surgery on the cable I bought on Amazon to cut the ground on one end and swap the position of the other two, and I had to do surgery on this end as well to swap some things. And it's kind of tedious and maybe not 100% translatable to whatever wire you get. So since then though, I found a new cable, and this is a 15-foot DMX cable on Amazon that is weatherproof on both ends. So it has a weatherproof connector on both ends. So what I'm doing now is I connect the DMX cable that's weatherproof on both ends that came with the unit. I connect it to the moving head, and then I connect one end of it to this 15-foot weatherproof DMX cable that I got on Amazon. I'll put the link to that in the description. And then I connect the other end of that 15-foot DMX weatherproof cable I got on Amazon to the DMX cable that I got that comes with the moving head, that's weatherproof on one end and that's regular on the other end. And then disassemble the other end, and I'll show you on one. I've got it plugged in over there, but I'll show you one that I've already taken apart. So you disassemble the indoor end of this cable, and then basically just go in and snip these 3 wires. There's a ground, it's black on this cable, and then there's a D plus and a D minus that's red and blue. I think it's red and blue. It might be brown and blue, I can't tell. But it's red and blue. Generally, I believe this red one is going to be D minus because it's next to the ground, and then this other one's going to be D plus. And so, but I'm going to snip them like right at the bottom of that solder, because you need as much of that wire as possible, because you really can't peel this cable back easily. Snip them right there. We don't need the ground. I noticed this in the other video, but I confirmed it with this one, even with this new cable that's weatherproof on both ends. If you connect the ground wire from this cable to your pixel stick, it won't work, even if your D plus and D minus are correct. So you don't need the ground. You can basically clip it off, you can fold it over or whatever, and then take the other 2 wires, the blue one and the red one, you take the other 2 wires, and it doesn't hurt to guess because they're not high power, they're not high voltage wires. You take the other 2 wires and you put them in the D plus and the D minus spots on the pixel stick. And so here, let's see if I can turn it around. If you see on the back of the pixel stick, there is a D plus and a D minus the blue wire and the red wire, and actually in this case, one of the cables that came with my moving head actually had yellow and white in it instead of blue and red, which I think is kind of peculiar. But it doesn't matter. Just take the two wires, put them in the D plus and the D minus spots, and try it. And if you don't get a flashing blue light on all your moving heads, flip them, try it again. Do not connect the ground on this end, the V minus. Don't connect that position on the ESPixelStick. If you do that, it should work. And I've tried this a bunch of different ways. Like I said, I got it working with these other cables, but it was more work. With this one, it's a lot simpler. I just connect my 15-foot cable that I got on Amazon to the moving head. I connect it to the wire that came with the moving head, and it's nice because now I'm basically using the wire that came with the moving head. It's like a little 3-foot or 4-foot wire. I'm using it kind of as a pigtail. Connect that to the ESPixelStick, connect it to my 15-foot wire that I bought, connect the other end of that to the wire that comes out of the moving head, and you're good to go. Just try the different positions of the two wires that are not the ground. The ground is, if you're not clear, it's black in all the wires I've seen, but if it's not black, it's the one that's connected to the sheath of the DMX cable. So we do not need that one. I've confirmed that now with multiple different cables. So either way, like I said, I had some issues with this in the other video, and I know it was a weird part where I couldn't really just tell you how to do it. I'll put the link to this wire in the description. If you get this wire, you can do it exactly like this with a ESPixelStick and a YPS Starlight moving head, and it will work. So if you have any problems, hit me up in the comments and I'll see if I can help. See you next time.